Well, I've always wanted to come back because I used to live in Los Angeles before going to Hong Kong for work. Uh, I've always wanted to come back here and work in the industry as a professional actress. So when there was a movie called Lady Blood Fight that was produced by one of the production companies here in Hollywood. Voltage, yes, they're one that produced the Hurt Locker, Dallas Buyers Club. They produced a movie called Lady Blood Fight, and I was in it. And I took that as an opportunity to come back to America. So that actually prompted the decision, and hence I'm here. Well, I have to say that, I love Hong Kong. It gave me everything that I have given that I have so far. Coming back to Hollywood is actually like chasing my dream, right? Having a bigger platform to showcase my craft or my art. Um, and then for the past couple of years that I've been back here, it took a lot of persistence, a lot of commitment. As we've worked at the Hong Kong Jockey Club for such a long time. We've known each other from, I started working there since 2010, and there were so many connections, so many friendship that I've built in Hong Kong over the years. And to be honest, to drop all of that and came here to pursue the dream, it was a lot to give up, and it was also a lot to take in because I had to start from ground zero, literally, like starting from going to auditions, finding an agent, taking classes, stuff like that. So that in itself was definitely, I guess, a challenge, artistically, also mentally. I definitely think that there is a way bigger market for Asian Americans, whether you'll be female or male in Hollywood today. You know, uh, with Crazy Rich Asian opened in 2018 with such a big welcoming box office, it definitely opened up a lot of opportunities for us Asian Americans. And then we had Farewell, right, with Lulu Wang, Aquafina, Sandra Oh, and Aquafina, getting such great accolades at the Golden Globes. And then Parasite, right? Parasite being a foreign film, and it had such a high recognition that, almost the highest recognition that we could have in the world today. So I see that, things are definitely progressing much faster these days for Asian Americans, as opposed to maybe a decade or 2 decades earlier. There was, like you said, there could be one token Chinese or one token Korean or one token Indian. Today, there are definitely a lot more TV programs or films where it's more inclusive, it's more diverse. And I remember reading an article in Variety or Hollywood Reporter, I don't remember which one it was. It says that in 2024, the Academy is actually going to include more diversity in the way they screen the projects. So you have to have certain percentage of underrepresented groups like LGBTQ, female, or ethnic groups. So I think that's the Hollywood way of having more inclusive community to work in the project. So yeah, for sure. And I think this is a great time to be working in the industry. Does it have all the obstacles? Absolutely. By all means, I think every occupation, every profession has its own struggles and problems that we have to tackle. And again, going back to what do you want? Like, what's your dream? I think that is my motivation every day to prompt me to go forward, even though there are always, frustrations ahead of us. I definitely think that, you know, with so many online streaming platforms these days that we have available, it definitely uh, gives productions more things to do, right? You know, you have to fulfill all kinds of audience taste. You got to cater to their wants and what they want to see on the screen. And you know, with again with all the online streaming services, there aren't so many people that are going to theaters and watching big budgeted movies anymore. So that's one of the reasons why, you know, they're having more, maybe you know, they still hire the big casts, but then it's more welcoming for people to watch at home. So, you know, maybe a lot less, like you said, the action movies, but more storytelling. And that way it's more, you can include the people that we see every day, you know, whether it be Hispanics, Asians, LGBTQ, into the content, so that it's more welcoming to all. That's what I see in Hollywood these years. Yeah. I actually started writing my first short in 2017, and I've been, you know, editing and rewriting. You know, it's a rewrite process, and it's been going on since then. And I'm, you know, during the pandemic, we have a lot more time on hand, so I was working on my feature script, and it's still under development. Um, I really enjoy telling stories, and by telling stories, I hope to use the story to make people think, you know, think about the things that they do or things that they did not do, and in the end, by maybe hopefully by the end of the story, that they are willing to do something different. And I think that's the power of art, of movie, and all the creatives that's out there. It's a way of expressing. I don't know. Maybe they will have to wear a mask in the script. But I think that's the magic of storytelling or movies or TV, is you draw from your life, right? You get inspirations from life. That's what the story eventually is about. And you know, art isn't always the reality. You could make it however you want to make it to be. So if they need to wear a mask, wear a mask. If it doesn't require them to, then let's let go of the mask. And, you know, with what's going on right now with the pandemic, some of the productions have already started in Hollywood, and they're taking a lot of very cautious safety procedures on set. So I'm pretty confident that, you know, once the vaccine comes out, we definitely would not go back to the normality that we had before. But I'm pretty sure, you know, we are very, very flexible. We'll adapt to whatever new environment that it will be. And if the character needs to wear a mask, okay. I could only speak from my personal experience for this pandemic. I think it definitely put a lot of things into perspective, right? When you have so much time, I guess, stuck at home with your loved ones or your roommate and whatnot, you tend to, you know, things come up, and I guess it also slows you down and figure out what do you want, really. Like, at the end of the day, if tomorrow was the last day of your life, what would you do? What would you choose to do when you have a period like this? And of course, you know, different people have different choices. But I know for a fact that a lot of hardworking actors and actresses in Hollywood that I've talked to during this pandemic, they really utilize their time to take classes, to start writing their own content, and to level up their skills. A lot of people are started to do gardening, and, you know, renovating their homes. It's just I guess different people have different ways of taking this pandemic in a good way, in a positive way. And I'm sure, you know, there are people who just had such a horrible time. But I got to spend a lot of time with my pets and got to work on my project, my script. And I'm also taking acting classes online so that, you know, when the pandemic is over, when the new normal kicks in and we go back to set, then you're ready to go. It was actually, well, the director, Wang Hingfan, we worked together back in 2010 when I was in Hong Kong, when I first started out as a young artist in Hong Kong. And then one day, you know, he contacted me online on Facebook and say, hey, you know, I'm doing my directorial debut. Would you like to be part of it? I'm like, sure, right? Yeah, because you know, I guess over the years, we both grew up as an artist. So I was more than happy to jump into the project and help him. And just so happened that, you know, Aaron was part of the project, and also some of the seasoned actor and actresses that are also involved in the project. So it was very incredible. So far, it's been a very incredible experience. Even though I'm not there in Hong Kong to enjoy the premiere and whatnot, but I know it's gotten good feedback so far. I have to say that, you know, for me as an artist, it definitely had pushed my limits. However, you know, working on set or whatnot, they were all very nice to me. The director gave me a lot of room to collaborate, so to speak. And also Aaron was very supportive. So was Nina Pao. They were very, very welcoming and allowing me to bring what I had to bring on the table. And I really enjoyed the challenge. It was physically and mentally and artistically challenging. But I had a great time, and I'm really glad to see that it came out the way that it did. And it's, yeah. Well, the funny thing was, even though when I was living in Hong Kong, I saw them when I went into McDonald's, and I know, you know, every now and then I'll pick up a newspaper, and then you would read about these homeless and the situations and whatnot. And I think it working on this project not only allowed me to get to know them better, to know, you know, their situations, but to also sympathize with their families, right? And I think the most important part of this project is to give them a platform to show the world and the audience, or, you know, the audience outside of Hong Kong, that we have a situation like this. Not only in Hong Kong, it's universal, it's everywhere. To give a voice to the voiceless. I think that's the goal of this project, and I think that's also the mission of the director and the producer as well. I actually, you know, when Jennifer sent me the song and I saw the title, I thought about it. You know, what is it really? What is kindness really? And I think kindness is it has to start with being kind to oneself. If you cannot be kind to yourself, you will never be able to be kind to other people. And I think that has a lot to do with self-love, right? Self-care, self-love, and what you do to yourself, you will do to others. So and everybody has a different definition of kindness. Someone could say, you know, I give my daughter $10,000 to spend on a weekly basis. That's my way of showing kindness because she's going through a tough time in college. And it could also be, you know, my kindness is, you know, giving the homeless $50 when I walk by on the street. I guess the kindness, my definition of kindness is the kind of act that when you have done it, you feel there's love in the air. I think it's a win-win situation. It's win-win for the doer and also the receiver. Yeah. So I think that is kindness, because when you are being kind to the other people, others, it comes back to you, right? Like, you know, how the karma goes and stuff like that.